this train right here also still beautifully chugging away. And you can see that this one's actually a lot less filled in terms of capacity than the other one was. But Jesus Christ, look at that train. It is absolutely messed up. Like, seriously, look at this train. Alright everybody, hello and welcome back to another episode on the Transport Fever 2 free mode with me, Spacefish, and welcome back to our beautiful, beautiful region. In the last episode, we went around optimizing a few things, rectifying some mistakes that we had made in some setups, also getting this train underway in order to actually start selling machines out to Crawley, and most crucially, we finally got the steel flowing right here to our machines factory so that thing can actually start producing. A lot of things taken off the list then, and well, a lot of main topics really solved, so we are already on to the next ones basically. We've got 28 million bucks in the bank. And, well, still a lot of room to play with in all, well, especially this region up here, also a little down here in the southeast. So there's a ton of things to take care of for us, most certainly, and we will start getting some more ideas today, where we can maybe continue working on, well, fostering new connections between the different cities, well, developing and producing new goods at the end of the day, and just, you know, getting more logistics up and running and making more and more money as we go. So that should be quite interesting, and I'm very much looking forward to it. But just quickly before we get started on all this, if you're new around here and if you do happen to enjoy this episode, please make sure to smash that subscribe button right down below. That will mean the absolute world to me. We're currently very much trying to hit 1,000 subscribers, and every single person truly does help out a ton. With that out of the way though, I think in terms of our next things to take care of, we've got a few ideas of where we could be going. First things first would be passenger transport, and I think that is very much a thing that we will start tackling today. On the one hand side, we do still have Evesham up here, which, well, albeit being quite close to our overall regional network, has not really ever been attached to anything really. We are not delivering any food, we're not delivering any machines, which will probably not happen for the very near future, given that we will need to pull up a lot of new things for those goods, because, well, nothing in the region here really requires anything of the sorts in Darlydale, while it is getting food delivered at the end of the day. I'm not sure we really have any excess capacities, because it's also going to Colburn, to Blackburn, so we'll have to see. Probably that's not going to find its way to Darlydale, so, you know, that's just a whole lot of new logistics chains to connect there. But what we will probably end up connecting will be passenger transport, because we still have Badal out here, and, well, Badal is still, you know, very unconnected to Evesham. We've got a lot of passenger transport going on to other cities, but Evesham somehow we haven't taken care of. Now, the one thing that I would like to say I am quite irritated about in the regard to Badal is kind of the way that we've connected up the train lines right here, admittedly. Because evidently, at the end of the day, why... right, thinking about it, I think we may not currently have the capacities in this train station, which is interesting. I mean, technically, you know, I think we've got 4 trains basically reaching Badal currently, right? We've got one going, but do we have that set up like this? Yeah, so we've got 2 going basically directly between Colburn and Badal and Darlydale and Badal. Then we've got 2 also going from Badal all the way through, and then, well, from Colburn all the way through to Space City, and then from Darlydale all the way through to Space City. So, very interesting one, and also very interesting that apparently they're not both all max frequented. So I'm not entirely sure how useful that is, but in the end, at the end of the day, that means what is currently the state is that we're actually using up all of the passenger train lines that we've got going here, except for this one to the very right, which makes no sense in the world to me. Except for maybe if we wanted to use it to somehow go to the aquarium through Dale, because we do very much still have a train line here too. So that one I guess makes sense. Maybe we can plan that for the future too, but it would admittedly be a very weird one to set up given all the curvature and stuff here. Maybe we could set it up to Crawley instead, given that it should be one of our more regional hubs, and then from Crawley we will do one through here. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of this personal transport, or public transport rather, that we can plan, and I think we'll pretty much just start going on that, to be honest. I mean, there's a lot of other tasks too that I do have in mind. But in general, I would just kind of like to finish up these public transport bits. Then we've got Evesham connected for a start, so everything up here is then pretty much taken care of except for the goods, which we'll do another day. And then we do have this stuff to connect through, and then, you know, we've got like, at some point we will get to the point where we'll have about half of the map checked off in terms of the goods that we can supply, and then we can kind of decide to focus on like the southeast or the northeast or something, just continue there. So I think that makes sense. Let's go to Evesham and try and finish off the connections here. Now, the question sort of being how we want to do this one in the end. I think we will not do like the separation like we did with the other cities of like one train that only goes hopping between the cities, and one train that goes all the way through to Dale, one train that goes all the way through to Colburn. Doesn't make any sense to have that in my mind. Evesham is at the end of the day a little smaller. We do have separate individual connections already going out to those cities from Medal. So what I think we will be doing is we will just literally be doing one train line now to keep things a little more simple. We will already put some high-speed train lines here, you know, because why not? At the end of the day, the modernization does make some sense in my mind. And, well, you know, for the others, we'll kind of leave it as is. I don't think we've got the urgent need to modernize that. When we get to that, we will take care of things. This here is an issue. Oh, God. Okay. I've got a question. How do we want to fix this? This is a bit of an issue. So, the issue being, well, we do have the space for the train line. We do not have the space for the platform. Bit of a, well, I don't really know how to fix that. The other option, I guess, would be to reuse train lines that we've currently only really got and use in one direction, and use them for the other train as well, and just put signals in front, and then like two train lines will use it, but they can go like up until here and up until there, and if there is a train in that train station at the time that a different train reaches it, then, you know, they'll just have to wait for a second. I guess that's the way that we're going to do it. At the end of the day, it's the only option that I'm seeing here, because, you know, the alternative, which, I mean, there is an alternative, would probably be to just build another train station, but honestly, I do not really see a reason to add on a train station just for one connection to another city. And even if the trains have to wait, it is not going to get chaotic enough to justify that. You know, at the end of the day, if they have to wait for too long, there's too many people amassing. We can always expand the trains, give them more carts, or, you know, make them faster. There's plenty of options right there, so, well, it is what it is. The other question kind of being, we've got this train station right here, which is admittedly not placed all too ideally for our purpose. I guess we kind of build the train line around here at the end of the day. We'd have an opportunity to get a bit of a bridge going right there, given like the terrain features. Anything else? I mean, the other option would be to go through the right here, which would let's check that out. We'll try it out a bit, maybe see where we would incur more of a slowdown at the end of the day. So the train line I think we would use would be this like outer one. It's the only one that really makes sense to me. Everything else will just be more train lines crossing, and at the end of the day, who really wants that? So this one right here, I mean, overall to me it seems like we would need only a minor angulation right there, while with this one, I mean, at the end of the day, the train's never instantly going to exit the train station with like 200 kilometers an hour. Where would it make sense in Evesham? We've got a nice spot right here, to be honest. At the end of the day, the other thing is, though, well, the machines, you know, you got to keep in mind, we can kind of just deliver via, like, trucks and a bridge, pretty much. So that is quite fine. We don't need to take that into account for the train station placement. The thing that we do need to take into account, though, is the food, if and when we ever want to get that going. So, given that it's probably not going to be down here, well, we can check out the capacities. Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be that food processing plant. It's already pretty much running at capacity. Out here, I guess, would be where we could get the food from, so I mean, at the end of the day, whatever we do, it's really not going to be optimal in terms of aligning with the train station. But, I think we're going to place it on the outskirts right here. We'll just do it like that. At the end of the day, it's fine. I think it's going to work out. We're going to stay at one track for the time being, I guess? Or how's this set up, actually? We're going to do 2 tracks. Why not? We're going to do 2. We're going to make it 240 meters long. We're going to make it high speed already, because why not, you know, get things modernized ahead of time. And then we will somewhat put it right here. Now, the thing is, again, I would really like a different kind of main building, to be honest. I really always hate that. It's like so annoying. We'll try and do this and hope that changing it to a medium building will end up with a solution. I know, you know, usually the easier approach is to just kind of go and place the train station first, then put the street down, but in this case I would really like to be able to slot it in somewhat. So the large main building here doesn't work, which is fine. I think medium fits the city way better anyways, but like that terrain difference does... Okay. Well, I'm sorry. We had the right approach in general in terms of like, well, where we wanted to go with, where we placed it at the end of the day, but what is still a bit of an issue is that this is... Oh my god. Hello? That's not flat. What do you mean? Oh, there's an undulation even in that. You are absolutely kidding me. Okay, the question kind of being, we need to somewhat flatten things to like some similar terrain level. The thing is, well, you know, if we place it there-ish, I guess it's fine. Right, that makes some sense to me at the end of the day. And yes, you know, we're using a lot more terraforming than we used to. At the end of the day, I mean, the reason is obvious. We've just got tons of money to spend, so why not, I guess. Okay, so here is where the cutover is somewhat perfect, so that's where we're going to try and, oh god, place this, like, hello, to camera perspective. Kind of trying to find the exact best spot to put it. Like there, maybe? Line it to the street a bit as well. Somewhat like that? Is this fine? I think it looks good, does it? Now, of course, we'll Where's my... Where's my configure button? I was going to say, where'd that go? Okay, so we're going to, of course, slap in the medium building again. So that was the plan. But there we go. That looks a lot better. Beautiful. So, at the end of the day, I mean, we'll have to do a bit of smoothing here to not make it look totally out of place. Especially here at the edges, you know, some things are a little dug in or... well, weird and messy, so... just beautifully smooth that out. Yeah, that looks quite fine to me, to be honest. I think we can be happy with that. Then we can maybe just quickly go and paint this little space up front here with like not snow. Could do tiles, but I would like not hexagon tiles, but cobblestone would be cool. Doesn't seem to be an option, unfortunately. Where's like the... we would have gravel. Let me go and lower that brush size. So gravel doesn't look like I can actually modify anything at all here. No, nothing's changing. Okay, well I guess that's kind of just going to stay the way that is. Okay, anyways. Enough time spent on the looks aspect for the time being, I would argue. Let's go and connect this thing through. I'm going to go and use the leftmost track here for this purpose. And we're going to do a little something like that, just to leave some space here. I think, you know, for the second track, we'll certainly find some sort of purpose. Maybe we'll just connect it through to Space City like that. Would make some sense to me, I think, in the end. Maybe, well, Aquarium, I think we will not. Like, if we connect Space City, which I think makes the most sense, we won't connect Aquarium because at the end of the day, we'll have a connection between Space City, Aquarium, and Crawley. So that'll be connected like that, and then we've got some nice regional transport networks going on in my mind. That said, let's go and pull this through here, or actually, let's go the other way and actually start right here. So that we've got a nice overview of where to start things, where to end things. We'll just have a nice gradual thing going on right here. Yeah. Ew. See, now that is not ideal. So we will redo that a bit, maybe. We don't need to slope in that heavily right here. I was hoping it would allow for more speed at the end. We slowed things down. So yeah, fixed. That's 300 kilometers all the way through. 300 kilometers now, that is. And that's the connection done, which is beautiful. Now, we will go and get a new train depot going, because, you know, we don't need to do, like, another jungle of railways just to save ourselves a train depot at the end of the day. Gonna go and place that a little more here on the outskirts of the city, a little away from the train, well, from the railway, so there's extra bits and bobs of space for if I'm going to place additional trains there in the future, and that's done. Now, the thing that well, as I said, we will need is going to be some signals. So we'll put one right there, and we will make sure to put one right there, and then in case, you know, another train is actually in there, the trains can wait right there, and we do not otherwise block the entire railway all the way through for the trains. Now let me double check. Yes, we've connected the right track there, everything fine. So continuing from that one, we will go and set up a little line for ourselves. And we will name it with a standard naming convention, not like in the campaign at this point. We will call it Passengers Evesham to Oopsies Pedal. Beautiful. And that's that set up. Now the only thing that we will require is going to be a train. And, well, maybe some public transport in Evesham. We'll definitely set that up too, because, I mean, if we look at this is only industrial buildings and range, so that doesn't make too much sense at the end of the day either. So, first things first, the question would be kind of what capacities do we estimate here? I don't think it's going to be too crazy. At the end of the day, the interesting fact here being that Evesham still seems quite competitive in size compared to Badal right here. only like 20 people behind, despite Badal receiving like goods and people and stuff for quite a while now. That said, Badal started out a lot smaller, and we've kind of just ignored Evesham for quite a while now, so that's probably part of the reason right there. So, let me see maybe what we've got going on for our other passenger lines in terms of like train sizes and stuff, what we're using right there currently, and we'll just kind of try and orient ourselves along those factors. Especially the Badal lines maybe that go directly. So it's 4 carts right there. Very bad condition, by the way, just saying. The question is, how full are those? 48 out of 56. Wow, okay. That is, mind you, though, to a bit bigger city at the end of the day. Looking at that, though, I think that is quite tight. So I think we'll go and make a quick adjustment here at the end of the day. I'm not sure. I think we will go for the more modern locomotive right here. Oh, how is it in terms of emissions? It does save us some emissions as well, so I think that's a good factor right there. And then we will go and replace the train carts to some of the more modern ones. We've got the 6-wheeler here still currently employed. We'll go up to the BC4, which allows at the end also for that speed increase to be effective. And we'll up it to 80. We're currently nearly filling 60, so I think 80, a bit more speed. That'll last us for a while. 11 million right there. Jesus Christ, that is a lot of money. We will go and do something not quite so similar for this passenger transport. So honestly, I mean, what we got to keep in account at the end of the day is that other train line is going from Colburn to Badal, or, well, maybe it was whatever around other cities, but basically from a way bigger city. So keeping that in mind, I think what we can afford for the time being is to go a bit slower on this line and just have a lot less maintenance and upfront cost through going for a BR75.4. And you know, a new variant of that will last us for a bit, so that means we can also kind of stay with one of these train cards right here. At the end of the day, I think we can just go for the 6-wheeler. Not just one. I think we will literally... Let's just do the 56 capacity that the other train had and see how it goes. I think that's fine. Let's go for that, and we will go and employ this very train on the line. Passengers, Evesham Badal. And there we go. That's that train rolling off. Beautiful. And there was a little honky honk right there. And that'll be going. I'm just going to quickly check out that things are actually going to move once he's on the railway. Does very much look like it. And then we've got this train right here also still beautifully chugging away. And you can see that this one's actually a lot less filled in terms of capacity than the other one was. But Jesus Christ, look at that train. It is absolutely messed up. Like, seriously, look at this train. It's basically falling apart of rust. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, we will have to make some adjustments on the very bad status trains as well in the near future, maybe. Because at the end of the day, on the one hand side, that means on-top maintenance costs for us. On the other hand side, that also means more emissions, which hinders, at the end of the day, also the cities in growing. So, something for us to keep in mind right there. But that's going. Now, the one thing that I would like to quickly take care of right here would be public transport in Evesham. And I think what we will be doing, for once, will actually be a bus line. You know, we've got so much in terms of tram lines going on and all. Why not, for once, just go and build a little bus line? We can go and have a little bigger bus station up front here. Nothing too crazy at the end of the day. We'll just make it a small little bus station that'll be at the main train station. And we'll go and build a road depot somewhere on the outskirts of the city. Just like that. And we'll get a little quick line going around here. Cool. So that will be... How do we call it on the other ones? I think it was always like Badal Tram and... or Tram Badal, or... Yeah, so... any variant of the two, I guess. We're going to go and... Where's the line now? There. We're going to go and call it... Evesham Bus. Cool. And there we go. That's our public transport. We'll evidently need a few vehicles. The question is which ones at the end of the day, maybe something that's very low on emissions. So we'll grab these. And let's grab like 3 of them. Ample amount, I think, for where we are currently standing with Evesham. Go and send those around. And that'll be good to go. Beautiful. So that's the public transport setup. That's the train line setup in Evesham. And I think next time we will continue actually getting the train line quickly set up to Space City as well. Should be a bit of a quicker process now that we've got all the basics lined out as like public transport and train station and everything else. So next time we'll get that connected, and then we'll maybe go for a quick modernization drive, checking out especially the very bad condition vehicles just to upgrade them, you know, save ourselves some maintenance costs at the end of the day, save ourselves some emissions so the cities grow a bit quicker, and then I think it will be time to continue the public transport drive, getting something going between Space City, Aquarium, and Crawley, and then we'll move from there. So, I think that sounds like a plan. For today, though, I'm going to end it off right here. I hope you all very much enjoyed this episode. Of course, if you did, please make sure to hit that like button right down below for the YouTube algorithm. And also, if you're new around here and haven't done so just yet, also please consider subscribing right down below, as well as smashing that bell icon in order to stay up to date on all the future upcoming episodes. Well, with all that out of the way then, as usual, everybody, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I will catch you in the next episode very, very soon. Ciao.